Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we have a different little setup here. Technically not, but you know what I mean. It's something different other than the podcast videos that I've been doing for the last couple of months. And as you all know, or hopefully you do know by now, we have wrapped up season 2 of A Change of Heart podcast. And so I wanted to get back into doing some content for this channel. So I figured we'd start with a chatty get ready with me, and I want to know how y'all are doing. And yeah, we're gonna have some little chit chat. Is that all right? Okay. FYI, this is not meant to be a makeup tutorial, none whatsoever. So I have no intentions of like actually telling you what I'm doing per se. I'm actually getting ready for a dinner that I'm going to for a friend of mine's. It's her birthday, and so I don't really know what I'm wearing or what look I'm trying to go for. But obviously, I'm not trying to like do the absolute most because it's not my birthday, so I don't want to be up here like, whose birthday is it? You know what I mean? So yeah, so with that being said, how are y'all doing? I feel like I don't even know the last time I actually did like a sit down chit chat, get ready with me or anything like that. But how are y'all doing? How's things going in your life? Let me know, check in with me. I am doing well. The podcast has wrapped up, as I mentioned earlier, and let's talk about this, okay? So I was on the fence about, should I go ahead and talk about this for the Get Ready With Me, or should I just go ahead and save it for season 3 of the podcast? And it was like, no, this may be helpful for someone, so let's go ahead and talk about it, okay? So sidebar, for anyone who cares, some of you may or may not know, I struggle with acne and my skin is on some trippiness right now, which is real annoying, but yeah, so there's that. So y'all send a prayer up for my skin because she's mad sometimes. You just never know which version of her you're gonna get. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is just being in this space of like growing, stretching, and actually becoming the woman that you have like always dreamt of, you've prayed for, all of that. And so just so y'all know, I'm looking a little crazy wow, we're doing this. But as you all know, I've been doing the podcast. I mentioned in the podcast, I forget which episode, that I'm doing or working on my coaching business, which I'm really excited about. I will give you all more info over the next couple of months, but it's something that I'm like super duper excited about. And it is definitely something that has been a desire of mine for a while now. And to really just be in a position of like really going for it is super exciting and super scary all at the same time. And so the reason why I bring this up is because as I am on my own personal journey of becoming the woman who I've always wanted to be, who I know that I was created to be, there has been a very interesting, I wouldn't call it a roadblock per se, but just a very interesting, I don't know, situation that has taken place. I don't know what else to call it. And so what I'm referring to is I looked back at a list of things that I wanted to do like years ago. And I realized that with the things that I'm doing now, it's literally checking off things from a list of years ago that literally just felt like, oh, this is something I would love to do, but you know, we ain't really ever going to do it. And to be in a position where it's like, oh no, this is actually happening. Like we're getting ready to do this for real. I had low-key a little bit of an anxiety attack. Not even gonna lie about that. And this week has been really rough for me just because I felt like really overwhelmed with good things, not even on like, oh, all this stuff I have to do. It's like very good things that I'm excited about, but it's also like the anxiety of like, oh my God, I am now stepping into territory. I know I look mad crazy right now, but I'm now stepping into territory that was at one point just a dream, and for it to become a reality, there's not a fear per se, but this feeling of like, okay, now what? And I am definitely someone who I struggle greatly with being present in the right now. I'm always on to the next thing. I'm making intentional time to celebrate wrapping up season 2 and also to celebrate the launch of my store, which if you listen to the podcast, you would know about it. If you didn't, it's okay. And also let me say this, I'm going to say it in a separate video, but for the store for the Be Whole, Be Healed, Be Authentic shirts, mugs, all of that. It's only available to the people who've listened to the podcast and who put their email in. It's not actually going to be available to the public until July 5th. So just an FYI. So there's that. But anywho, I realized that as I'm on this journey to becoming the woman who I've always wanted to be, I realized that there is a part of me that's like, okay, I'm doing this. Now what? It's like, where do we go from here? Because that felt like a dream. And so to actually be in a space where it's like, okay, I'm achieving what I wanted. Now what? And for some reason that created a wave of anxiety for me. And I really just had to step back and be like, okay, why do we feel so anxious about this? Like, what's going on? Let's talk about this, sis. Let's not try to skim over that, skim past it, because like you feel this way for a reason. And so like we really need to take the time to sit in it. And I always go back to The Big Leap, which y'all, I still have not finished that book. I talk about it a lot, but I still have not finished that book. Possibly may never finish that book. But I realized it really is the upper limit problem. And so for anyone who's not familiar with the Big Leap book that I'm referring to, it's by the author Gay Hendricks. And he talks about our upper limit problem is pretty much where we have this idea of like the amount of success, love, money, whatever that we can attain. And then once we get there, or once, not even so much once we get there, but once we start getting to a point of feeling like we're going to reach it, the upper limit problem comes in and pretty much you just self-sabotage, because it's like, oh, I'm not a feeling of not deserving of this, but it's like, oh, this was just a dream. It was all a dream. And now it's like, oh, this is actually a reality. And it's like, I actually don't know what to do with this. And so that's honestly where I've been at this past week, of just finalizing things for the store and really just kind of sitting in this, sorry about that, but really just sitting in this space of like, oh wow, we are really doing this, and now what? And then I also realized that I'm someone who, I definitely am like a high functioning anxiety person, in the sense that I am still able to be all of that even when my anxiety is bad. And I realize that people don't realize that I have anxiety because it doesn't appear that way. But I was talking to one of my friends earlier this week, and was just saying like, hey girl, prayer request. I am spiraling and I need help. And so I wouldn't say I need help. That came out the wrong way. But I was sharing with her that I feel like with my anxiety, it goes one of two ways. So on one hand, it typically is, the way that my anxiety shows up is that if I have a lot of things that are overwhelming me, I tend to shut down. And instead of like doing everything that needs to be done, I be like, you know what? We're not going to do that today. And I just get into this space of like, I just shut down. And so definitely just messed that completely up. And I've been feeling like that earlier on. And then the other side of how my anxiety shows up is, instead of me shutting down, we take a spiral. And that spiral goes really fast. And that's when it gets to the point of like having anxiety attacks and whatnot. And so that's kind of the direction that it went this week for whatever reason. And it's just like, it's not fun, okay? I don't know how else to say it other than it's not fun. And so I was talking to my friend about it, because it's like, I could feel like that spiraling feeling. And it's like, I don't want to do this. Like, ain't nobody got time for this. That's always my response to everything. And FYI, I use humor to deflect. I recognize certain things are not funny, but also let me be great. So yes, I was telling my friend that's like, I definitely can feel myself getting to the point of spiraling, and I don't have time for that. I got a store to launch. I have all these different things that I have to do. And I realized even that response in itself is also just like this. We tend to have, let me speak for myself. I tend to have my response of like, well, let's not deal with this right now because we have so much to do. And that honestly, it only makes it worse. It really only makes it worse. And so, yeah, guys, that's how things are going over here. I always say with the podcast, like, as I am encouraging you all, as I'm sharing things with you all, it's also for me. I never want to portray that I have it all figured out, that I have everything together by any means. But I say all that to say that I am in a better space. Things are okay today. And I also share that because I believe all of you know at this point, or hopefully you know, I am a believer. I am a Christian. And I believe a lot of times when we have conversations regarding just mental health, anxiety, depression, whatever it might be, a lot of times as believers, I feel like let me not generalize. I think that we can be very dismissive at times, sometimes unintentionally. We can also be super spiritual and downplay things and be like, oh, you just need to pray about it. And I'm not against that, none whatsoever. But I also think it's really important to acknowledge that you can pray about it, and you can also acknowledge, like, hey, this is an area that I'm struggling with, and I'm open to praying, and also, getting support where needed. So yeah, so that is that. But in all seriousness, I really am in a much better space. I am a lot calmer. I shouldn't say calmer, but I'm not as overwhelmed as I was. And so I am just trying to be a lot more mindful of just taking my time, pacing myself, and the things that I get done, and what doesn't get done, and that's perfectly okay as well. But I share that because a lot of times for people who are high functioning with anxiety, a lot of times people feel like, oh, they just get everything done. They're always doing stuff, and it doesn't impact them. Like, how do they do it all? And I never want to give the impression that, I'm just over here killing it, doing everything and all things. There's some cost that comes with that at times for people who are just high functioning in general. So there's that. Moving along though, in happier news and more positive news, I feel like I, for the first time, use your words, Angel. I feel like for the first time in a really long time, I'm in a space where I am just really going after the things that I've wanted to for a really long time. And that's really exciting because I have really just been putting a lot of things on the shelf and really just kind of we're not doing that. And this year, I don't know what changed, to be fully honest, but I was like, we're going to invest in ourselves, and we're going to say yes to things, and we're going to show up for ourselves in a way that we have not before, and watch God work. And it really has been an crazy journey to just go through this process of just stepping out. Y'all didn't see my makeup kit almost fell on the ground. It scared me. But not just stepping out on faith, but also just really trusting who God has created me to be. And as a result of that, I do feel like I've just found myself trying things that I wouldn't have before, committing to things that I wouldn't have before, saying yes to things, doing things, all of that. And and I'm super excited about it because I do feel like just being in this space has really positioned me to be able to do what I've been wanting to do, which is I really, really have a passion for helping women to become the women who God has always created them to be, That's why I do the podcast. It's also why I do Change Hearts. My favorite sport is seeing women flourish and seeing them just be who God has called them to be, because there is no superpower better than that, okay? And so I'm really excited just to be able to, I don't need more concealer, just to be able to be in a space to help you all and to encourage you all to do that. And that's going to be something that we'll be doing with the coaching program, which I'm super excited about. But yeah, I feel like there's so many women who are like myself, who are very okay with being in the background. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that there is I feel like there's a grace for that, and I definitely feel like there is a time and a season for that for sure. And I feel like there are people who genuinely just want to help people. They have no desire to be in the spotlight, to have a platform, or to I don't know, be famous, known, or anything like that. Like, they really just want to help people. I truly believe that there are people like that. And I feel like there are so many women who are really just amazing women who are truly just hidden gems, right? And I really want to help you all to be able to step out in faith and do the things that God has called you to do, whether it's starting a YouTube channel, whether it's starting a podcast, a blog, whatever it might be. Like, I just really want to be able to help you all and see you all to flourish and to be who God has created you to be, because I just know like the power in really walking in who it is that God has called you to be, walking authentically as you. And when you get into that space where you feel comfortable and confident to do that, like, God truly does just like blows your mind, okay? Ask me how I know. So I am so excited to be able to do that. That is a space that I've wanted to serve women for a long time, and I just didn't really know in what capacity I could do that and what that would look like. And so, yeah, are y'all excited about this? I'm excited about it. I hope y'all excited about it. Whether you're excited or not, I'm excited about it. So, yeah, so that is definitely a passion of mine. And I don't know, I just feel like now is just such a beautiful season for a lot of people who are walking in faith, who are really just starting to branch out and step out and do things that they haven't done, or even just like put themselves out there. I've seen so many women who are doing like amazing things, and I feel so proud seeing them. Like, I'm so proud of you. I've had nothing to do with your journey, but I am so proud of you. Like, it really does my heart well to see women to finally just like step outside of their comfort zones and to really walk as their authentic self. And here's the thing about being your authentic self. It's so funny because people will see this version of you and they feel like, oh, you've changed. Like, or you don't act like that, or you don't do that. You're not that kind of person. And it's like, first of all, you don't even know me. Like, first of all. But no, seriously, it's like people will truly try to tell you that who you are authentically is not who you are. And it's like, who said that? Like, how you gonna tell me who I am? How you gonna tell me who God created me to be? Let's talk about that. But I don't know, I just feel like it's just something super dope to see people just really just become their authentic selves. It's so amazing, and I love it. I love it so much, and so I cannot wait to be able to help other women to be able to do that, and just to see you all flourish and really just kill it, because that's what's going to happen. So I'm super excited about it. Oh, and I did want to go back to finish my thought in regards to people saying, oh, you've changed, or this isn't you. What are you doing? You're doing too much, blah, 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 blah. Sorry for the sarcasm. Actually, no, I do not apologize for the sarcasm. I said what I said. People have to understand that sometimes the version of you that they have become accustomed to, that they have become used to, that they have come to know, is not your authentic self. It's a version of you that you have allowed yourself to show up as, because you know it's acceptable to people. You know ain't nobody gonna complain about it, ain't nobody gonna have nothing to say about it. And so you continuously have shown up as that person. And so when you change, or when people assume that you change, when you actually come into your full authentic self, it's not a matter of you changing per se. It's more so a thing of you becoming. It's like, I'm actually not changing. I'm becoming who I was always created to be. You know, I'm actually becoming the version of me who I have always been. You just ain't know it, right? So so there's that. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to let y'all in on some thoughts that I have. Is that okay? We're just going to have kind of like a brain dump here, apparently. One of the things that I'm really interested in doing is like getting a group of people together on maybe like Zoom or something, and we just have like creative sessions. Follow me here, okay? So this is what I'm thinking. Like, we all come together. This isn't for like a meeting or anything else. It's going to be, you have your itinerary of things that you need to be working on, and I'll have my own itinerary of things that I need to be working on. And it's just like a space for us to have accountability, because I feel like it's easier to get things done when you have somebody else who is also trying to get things done. So it's like, think of like a Starbucks meetup, but It'll just be virtual, okay? And it literally would not be, ain't nobody talking, we ain't got no special guests or anything like that. You're coming in to get your work done, okay? But it creates a space of like accountability. Because I know for some people it's like, oh, I don't have the time, or I don't even know where to start, blah, blah, blah. I can give y'all like an outline or something, but ultimately, like, you're gonna be working on your stuff, I'm gonna be working on my stuff, and we have some music, you know? And maybe for like an hour, we just create and vibe, you know? Does that sound interesting? Or am I the only person that thinks that's interesting? But I just think that'd be really dope. And then you can put in like the chat if you have a question about something. So, all right, so let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So say that you are, I don't know, a YouTuber, and you're trying to plan out content. So you come to this create and vibe session, and all of us would come with our own work. We're each individually working, and say you're like, okay, I have this idea, but I'm not really sure where to start. You put it in the chat or you unmute yourself, and it's like, hey, y'all, all right, so I'm thinking about this. What y'all think about this? What about this topic? And we can just like vibe off each other. No? Do y'all see the vision or not? I think it would be super dope. However, I need people to do it, so I can't do it by myself. So if you'd be interested, let me know if that sounds like a good time. But in my head, it sounds like a good time. I don't know for other people if it does or not. And maybe we can do one on here first, and y'all can get an idea of what I'm referring to. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay? Don't hold me to it. But yeah, so that's something that I am thinking about doing. I just feel like that would be fun. And I have some other things that I'm working on, and I am curious. Do y'all care about like behind the scenes stuff? So do y'all want to see me like, would y'all like to see how I prep for like content and all of that? Do y'all care about that? I really don't care. I really don't care. I really don't know like what people find interesting now, because I feel like I'm not really on the train of trying to do necessarily what's like trending per se. However, I will say this, y'all. Don't judge me, okay? I am trying to get into these reels, okay? But I only want to do ones that are like funny per se. So I don't know. We'll see. But outside of that, I'm not really all that concerned with like trying to be on trend about things, especially when it comes to YouTube. I'm really more so like, I want to do videos that I want to do. But I do want to know, as far as for those of you who watch, what y'all want to see. What do you think would be some good stuff? Y'all, I said that I was not trying to do the most, and I just realized we have a full smoky eye going on here, which was not my intent, but baby, here we are. Well, darn. This happens like all the time where I'm like, oh, you know, we're going to do a little soft look. We're not going to do too much. 30 minutes later, and we have a full face. And it's like, ooh, whoopsie daisy. How did we get here? So there's that. Oh, well, anywho, I'll do a nude lip, and that way that'll kind of, well, I mean, it's not really going to balance it out, but it's all good. I ain't going to worry about it. Not going to stress myself out about it. So yeah, let me know as far as what y'all are interested in seeing, if you want the behind the scenes, as I'm working on, even with the coaching program, things like that. Y'all care about that stuff? If not, I will not be offended. I genuinely will not be offended. But yeah, so there's that. I'm trying to think about what else. What are y'all watching on TV right now? TV, YouTube, any of that? Because all my shows are gone. So I have been watching Married at First Sight. The fact that it's not even over, at the time that this will go up, I think the last episode of it will have aired, but currently as I'm recording this, child, thing is not over with. It's like, why is this the show that will never end? Ain't nobody asked for this long of a season. It's so, like, no, child, can we just end it? Why? Like, why? No one asked for this, okay? No one asked for this. So, yeah, it's, this season was such a struggle to watch. And full disclosure, so me and my friend who did the episode of the Married at First Sight, what was it? Whichever episode we did for the podcast of why it's been a struggle and why it's mad triggering to watch. I had intended on doing like a final thoughts one. Y'all, I ain't been watching that show. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. I watched part of the reunion. I missed like 3 episodes prior to the reunion. I was like, I don't even want to get caught up on this. And what I saw of the reunion did not like encourage me to want to watch the rest of it. I'm like, this is just, it's too much. It's too much. Too much. But I will say this. I genuinely hope for Paige, for those of you who watch, y'all know the situation. But I genuinely hope for Paige that she like goes to therapy, and I really do hope that she's able to heal from this, because I definitely feel like she was a participant in the foolishness at times. But in the clip that I saw of the reunion, you can tell, like, I feel like that broke her spirit, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I do feel bad for her, because you can tell like it really being on the other side of it now, and her having to see like everything that he said about her and all of that. My heart really does go out to her, because she didn't deserve that. Like, yeah, it was just really messed up. But anywho, say all that to say, yeah, so I'm watching, well, I'm not watching. We're done with Married at First Sight, because I just can't. And my show, what was I previously watching? That's gone off. Queen Sugar. Oh my gosh. So, spoiler alert. How are we feeling about Charlie and what's her husband name? Ex-husband, whatever. About them possibly getting back together. Because I'm not for it. Like, I text my friend, me and my best friend, we watch it together. And I was telling her, I was like, so Queen Sugar is exposing the fact that I struggle with forgiveness, because I was like, oh no, Charlie, I'm not here for this. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. No, ma'am, not at all. So I don't know how I feel about that, but Ava gone Ava, so it's not my call. But I was like, oh no. Who asked for this? Why are we doing this? No one needed this. Leave them be. But absolutely loved Ralph Angel this season. Like, I loved how he matured. I loved just his overall, I don't know, just being able to see him like really just grow up and not cry every episode. And I'm not even like a toxic masculinity type of girl by any means. Like, men can cry for sure. I'm not going to judge you for that. But that man was crying every episode, like every 10 minutes. It's like, can we not? Can we please stop this? Over it. But yeah, I'm very glad to see him just mature. And when I say mature, I'm not referring to the fact that he's just not crying every episode. Not referring to that as maturity, but him just even like stepping up and getting a job as a janitor to make sure that his family was, taken care of when everything happened with COVID, because he wasn't able to do like his farming and all of that. I'm like, yes, Ralph Angel. I really, really loved his development, his character development this season. And I really, really love him and Darla. Like, I'm so glad that they got married and that there was not this huge, like, I don't know. I just felt like it was a setup. I was just waiting for the ball to drop, but I'm really, really glad that everything worked out well with them. So, yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I'm trying to think if I was watching anything else. I think that's pretty much all I was watching. And yeah, I can't think of anything else. So yeah, y'all let me know what should I be watching. I will say that I can't say I'm not into it. I have not watched Bridgerton. I really don't have a desire to watch Bridgerton, but let me know if I really need to invest in it. My friend told me about it, and I was like, not my cup of tea. I did watch, is it The Upshaws? Whatever it is with Kim Fields and what's his face? Mike Epps? Yeah. And Wanda Sykes. So y'all, I don't really like it, but I keep watching it. So it's like, I don't know. And it's not even so much I keep watching it because like I want to see what happens next. It's more so of it just keeps playing on Netflix, so I don't stop it. But yeah, I'm not really into that. And then I couldn't get into Jamie Foxx show on there. I think it's Dad Stop Embarrassing Me. I can't really remember. I'm on the fence about whether or not I'm going to put on lashes. So for right now, I'm only going to do one pass of my mascara. But yeah, so I don't know, man. So yeah, so there's that. Trying to think of what else. should have made a list of a longer list, I guess I should say. Things to talk about for my get ready with me chit chat. But I don't even know if y'all can hear me. I apologize. But yeah, so y'all let me know what you are watching right now because I need something and I am completely out of ideas and I have not been able to find anything. I have heard that Money Heist is coming back, and full disclosure, that's another show that I don't fully like per se, but I keep watching it because I do want to know what's going to happen next. And I'm just, I don't know, child. The professor, his voice, it bothers me, to be honest. So that's a part of the reason why I do not really like it. It's like, can you stop whispering? Like, what are we whispering for, sir? You a whole evil mastermind. Like, what you got to whisper for? Yeah, his voice just, ugh. It irks me. But, and then there's just some stuff there that I just felt like was super irrelevant. It's like, what are we doing? Like, why? Why was this necessary? Did we need this relationship? No, we didn't. Absolutely not. So, yeah, so there's that. But, yeah, let me know. I did watch Quantico. I can't remember if I told y'all this or not. I watched Quantico and loved the first season. Second season was meh. Third season was terrible. Like, it literally was terrible. I was like, who do I need to call? Who do I need to call? Because who did this and why? Why? What was the reason? Seriously, what was the reason? So, yeah. So, let me know. Trying to get myself together. I don't exactly know what I'm wearing, but I feel like this is a neutral enough face that whatever it is that we decide to wear, it'll work. We can make it work. I guess I could have mentioned earlier. So, ladies, something I've been doing here lately because I feel like at times when my hair is darker that my eyebrows look too brown. And the reason for that is because I use the darkest brown that is offered in the shade of the eyebrow pencil that I use. However, it reads very brown like on camera, and I don't like that. But if you know, you know. You're not supposed to use like a black, jet black, anything like that brows because your hair technically, your natural, for the most part, most people's natural hair is not like a very dark shade. It's not like a full black. It's typically like a darker brown or a lighter black. And so just black eyebrows look mad harsh. I hate it. And so I never use a black eyebrow pencil because you should not. It's not the move, girls. It's not the move. But I do like a little bit, just a little bit of a darker brow here lately. So I have been using the same thing that I use under my my lower lid for my eyeliner. I have been using that very slightly on my eyebrows. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Sidebar. So y'all, I am on this quest to update my wardrobe. And I've been on this quest for a minute and then some now. I don't know what I want. I don't know where to shop for real. I hate trying on clothes. Kind of works in my favor, kind of doesn't, in the sense that because of COVID, a lot of dressing rooms are still not open. And sidebar, I went to Express out of town maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. And it appeared that their dressing rooms were open, but I wasn't sure because I thought that like you still couldn't use them because of COVID. And so I asked one of the people that worked, I was like, hey, are your dressing rooms open? And he looked at me like, yeah. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't act like they all just been open this whole time, okay? So the downside is I'm in like a weird, I don't have a weird body shape. However, I do have a weird size shape in the sense that I am petite, but we got it where we got it, okay? And as a result of that, it's just really hard to find things that fit because I tend to always be in between sizes, and that really sucks. So as a result of me being in between sizes, nothing fits me. It's either too big or it's too small, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So I need to, I don't know. I just want somebody to like buy my clothes for me. I don't want to have to do it. Where can I sign up to get somebody else to buy my clothes? Because I'm not trying to do it. I don't have time. And I don't really know like what my personal style is per se at my age. I know I don't want to shop at Forever 21 anymore, which I haven't in a while, but I'm also not like H&M. I feel like it's for like your young adults, like you're out of college, but you are still like, I don't know, new to this whole adulting thing, which that really does not apply to me, but here we are. I still don't like H&M clothes, but I want like good quality clothes, but I also am cheap, so lay struggle, you hear me? Lay struggle. So, I don't know, I have been following women on Instagram though, who are women of color who wear a lot of like bright colors, because I don't have like a lot of color. I don't have like a lot of diversity in my wardrobe. And as a result of that, oh, I just realized I don't have my lip liner in here. It's okay, we can use this other one. But yeah, I realized that I don't have a lot of color. I don't have a lot of pieces that I like. And so I'm going to go through my wardrobe and just get rid of a bunch of stuff. Is this, no, I was like, this is not espresso. So yeah, so that's my goal over this summer, is to just get more colorful pieces, to get things that I really love wearing, and hopefully in hopes of, I don't know, being able to update my wardrobe and look like a chic auntie. That's the vibes I'm going for. Rich auntie. That's it right there. If I don't look like somebody's rich auntie, I'm not doing it right. That is how I'm feeling. Okay? I hope this is still recording. Alright. So, oh, sorry. My bad. Okay. I think we are all good here. We're almost done, guys. No, I feel like this has been going for a really long time, so we're almost done. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do with my hair either, but we'll cross that bridge when necessary. Do we like? I think that's pretty. Okay. I just need to get my setting spray, and then I'll take my hair down, and then we'll be ready to go. All right, so this is the final look, hair, makeup situation. For anyone who cares, this is crochet hair. It's the Zuri Sis Rod Set. One pack is all you need type of thing. If you look it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is the final look. I hope that you all enjoyed this very chatty Get Ready With Me. I feel like this is probably significantly longer than I anticipated it being, but hopefully it's under an hour. I was thinking like 30 to 45 minutes, so hopefully we are somewhere in that range. But I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget, let me know what would y'all like to see from this channel while we're waiting for season 3 to start for the podcast, okay? I hope y'all have a great weekend. Until next time, be whole, be healed, be authentic. Bye.